Hello and welcome to this video. This video is about our IoT project, which is called Smart Doorbell. We are 3 members in this group, Lasse.
Hello.
And myself, and Mads.
Hello.
And in today's video we will be talking about 3 descriptions we've made and a diagram. We will begin by the project description to provide you with an idea about what our project is about, and an architecture diagram to give you a visual overview about the system we're going to be working on, and lastly a requirements analysis. So
yes, let's start with the project description. Here our idea is to, based on a doorbell that has an attached camera, and the idea is that if someone uses your doorbell, you will get notified by an email, and the email will then contain an image of the person who used the doorbell, and that way you can see who is using your doorbell, and if someone that you're not interested in answering, for example, if it's if someone you don't want to talk with, then you can basically not answer it, or if you can see if someone is just using your doorbell, so that if someone is just going up, pressing the doorbell and then leaving, then you can also see who it is. And then if you happen to be occupied by listening to music, for example via Spotify, then the doorbell system can go in and pause the music so that you can hear the doorbell. And the doorbell should integrate the event from your calendar system, so that if you're busy or if you have something scheduled in your calendar for the time that the person presses the doorbell, it will notify the user that you're busy or that you're available. So yeah, and a further development of this could be that it only does it for persons known by the system, so that it wouldn't just do it for everybody, and even a burglar if they came.
yes. And then we have the architecture diagram. As you can see, we're using 2 photon boards. Our idea is to implement some sorts of publish and subscribe functionality, so they can work together for communication. In that sense, we will use Wi-Fi. And the idea is that the photon board here, we have attached the camera, which was mentioned before by Lasse, and the button and the speaker. So when there is a visitor, he will press the button, which will then it can play this speaker sound via the input from the button, and it's also attached to this mail to user. So if a visitor presses the button, then it takes a picture, and then it can send it to the user a mail. So and then we have drawn this arrow to the other photon board, so we can communicate with that one to signal to it. And it has also attached this speaker, which is actually the one that will play if you press the button. So the doorbell will still function like a normal doorbell, and then we will use the Google Calendar API, which is the way it works is that if you press the button, then by some integration to the Google Calendar system by the owner of the house, it can inform the visitor via this speaker if the person or the owner is currently busy, or the events that's written into the calendar. Then it can also signal to, let's say that you're occupied by listening to music on Spotify, and in order to inform the owner, then the photon board can actually stop the music, so you will get notified. And then this.
Then we have some requirements. We have to put up or set up some requirements for our system to give us some guidelines to how it should work and how it should run. We have some supply requirements. We, as a normal doorbell, it runs off batteries, at least the outside part, and the inside part can run on an ordinary main supply. Then we have some consumption requirements. It's mostly for the thing outside, but it depends on what mode it's in. But we're not sure yet how much current it will draw when it's operating. But we think that in deep sleep it will draw maybe 100 microamps. And we estimate the battery needs to be changed about every month. And then we will look at the device inside. It will, as mentioned earlier, it will have a photon board and a speaker to play the music when somebody presses the button as a normal doorbell. It will be in a box so that it's not just a bunch of wires and look too complex, and will actually look neat. It will be able to integrate your online calendar system so that the other speaker can inform the user of the button whether or not the owner is busy or not. And then it would be able to pause your music or video playing either from Spotify or YouTube. And then the device outside should also have a photon board and have a button, of course, and a camera module which will be able to take a picture when someone presses the button and send it by mail to the user, or to the owner, not the user, and have a speaker to inform the user of the button that the owner is busy and not able to have visits right now. And it will, of course, because it's outside, need to be able to withstand like normal wind and weather. And then we have some mode requirements. We have a operation mode where it will take pictures and pause music and play sounds and to send a mail to the owner. And then we have a deep sleep mode, which is when it's not operating. Then we have some sensors. We're arguing if we could consider a button as a sensor, but if not, then we could build a debound circuit connected to the button. This way we can toggle via the circuit if the input signal from the button is high or low. And then our actuators are a speaker with an audio amplifier, or two speakers with audio amplifier, and a camera. Yeah, that's our requirements.